Hello students, welcome to the next class of mathematics. Now we have done certain chapters on pure arithmetic dealing with numbers, numerals. Now I thought of let's change little bit. So I have started with the next chapter which is Introduction to Algebra. Now let's see what do we mean by the term algebra. There are many situations like we did sums in fractions and all. In fractions, we had word problems that a man had, the person had certain income. He gives half of the income to his wife, 1/4 of his income to his son, and the remaining is so many rupees. What was his total income? Now we did sums in that we assumed that the total is 1. In fractions we did word problems like that. But we can also proceed where we assume the unknown as, we can assume the unknown by alphabets, that is X, Y or Z, the alphabets. So when we assume or when we take alphabets to represent the numbers, to represent the numerals, those numbers are, those are called as variables. Well, let's say, suppose I have a bag full of sweets, right? And I take out 20 sweets, right? And I say there are 12 sweets in the bag, 12 sweets left in the bag. Now, how many sweets were there? So I can represent that equation by in the form of there were 12 sweets remaining, and you have we have taken out some 30 sweets. I have taken out 30 sweets, right? And there are 12 sweets remaining. Now this is that bag. So from the bag I have taken 30 sweets, then 12 sweets are remaining. So I can represent this with the form of a bag, or I can say let the sweets be, number of sweets be X. Now from that I have taken 30 sweets, then it is equal to 12. So I am here representing number of sweets in the bag in the form of alphabet. So when I am using these alphabets to represent numbers, so those are called as variables or literals variables, because in different situations this X would have different values. Now your common sense tells you that in this case the number of sweets in the bags would be 42. 30 we took out, 12 were remaining, so there were 42 sweets. But in some other situation, if it is a question of income or something like that, then the value of X would be something else. So it can have various values. So they are called as what? These alphabets are called as variables, or also called as literals. Okay, there are two main terms which we will be using in this, that is variables and constants. Now what would be constant according to you? Something which is fixed, constant would be that only. If I say 3 boys means 3 boys, 3 sweets means 3 sweets, 3 rooms means 3 rooms only, 3 mangoes means 3 mangoes only, 3 books, 3 people, 3 persons, whatever. So 3 is fixed, constant. In different situations, the value of 3 would not change. It would remain 3. So these numbers which have fixed values, which do not change, are known as constants. And the alphabets, according to the situation, the value of X, the unknown, can change. So they are called as variables. So algebra is that branch of mathematics which makes use of variables and constants. So there will be use of variables, that is alphabets, X, Y, A, B, C, D, any alphabet, and constants, the combination, or only variables, whatever. Then that is called as algebra. Now, well, we have to, in algebra there are certain, there is a format. Now if I have to add a variable and a constant, we'll put plus sign, just like in arithmetic. If I have to subtract from a constant a variable, we'll put minus, or from a variable we subtract a constant, plus minus. Multiplication is slightly different. when you are multiplying 7 and 5, in arithmetic you write 7 into 5. But in algebra, this cross can be confused as x. So we do not write multiplication symbol. Most of it, in fact, we do not write. So if the two variables are multiplying, we do not put this symbol. We just write one after the other. And it is understood to be multiplying. In algebra, it is multiplying. See, if I am writing 2, 3, right? Now here, 2 and 3 are not multiplying. We know it is 23, right? We know it is 23. But then in algebra, if I am writing A, B, it is A is multiplying B. There is other way also. Sometimes we write by putting a dot also. This also means multiplication. Or we can show it by putting it in parenthesis or bracket. Then also with no sign in between, then also it represents multiplication. So in multiplication in algebra, we don't usually put multiplication symbol. We just write one after the other without any plus or minus sign. Then it indicates multiplication. Division, just like division like this, as you did in arithmetic. So there is no change. Now we will be studying. Now we'll study how to convert statements into symbols, right? So for that, we'll start with the exercise. We'll be finding this chapter a little change from your arithmetic chapters. So we did a lot of arithmetic chapters till now. 5 chapters we have done. So I thought to bring some change in that order. So that is why I picked up this algebraic chapter. You'll find it very interesting. So I'll start with the exercise. And it is chapter number 12. The syllabus for half yearly has already been uploaded on the website. You can check from that. In the chapter which I am doing, this algebra 12 and the 13th chapter is also in your syllabus. So I am doing 12th chapter today. So I am starting with exercise 12a. Now here, see, as we do, you will be understanding more and more concepts of algebra. Now the first one is question number 1. There is these are statements given and you have to write in the form of symbols. So question number 1, and here I'll give the heading statement, and here I'll give the heading symbol. So it would be easier. Always make symbols or signs, right? So I am taking some parts from this. Let's see how many I have taken. Well, now you will understand the terms. X increased. Increased stands for more by 23. That means X is increased. We add 23 to X. So answer would be X plus 23. Okay, second one. Y decreased. Decrease means to subtract, make it less. Decreased by 15. So y minus, from y I remove 15. So y is decreased by 15. Okay, I am taking few sums so that gradually it becomes easier to you. Third, x minus. Now minus, we all know what the symbol is. X minus thrice y. Thrice, 3 times. Times means multiplied. X minus thrice y. So from x I subtract 3 times, now multiplied by y, 3 times, 3 into y. And we don't write multiplication symbol, we just write 3 and y next to each other. It automatically means they are multiplying 3 times of y. The fourth part, x taken away from 20. From 20. That means from 20 I have to remove x. From what? Whatever from which we take, always it in first. From 20 I remove x. So x taken away from 20. Okay, fifth one. x decreased, decreased is for subtraction, decreased by 5 times y. 4 times x, 4 times x. Times means multiply, and multiplication symbol we do not put. 4. Now in algebra, children, as you write, don't write x like this. See, all these symbols and alphabets which we use variables, they are always cursive. So x is not written this. This is the wrong way. This is wrong. And this is the correct way. X is always written like this. In algebra, you will write x like that. This is the correct way of writing it. Y will not be written like this. Y will be written like this. Alright? Z. You will not write like this. You will write like this. Okay, remember that? So in algebra, we always write in the cursive format. So that otherwise you, sometimes if you write like this, it can be mistaken as 2. In your hurry when you write, it can be mistaken as 2. So never write it like that. This can be mistaken as multiplication symbol. So we follow a format, writing cursive form always. Okay. So 4 times x, times multiplied, so 4 times x. Decreased by, that means remove, subtract, 5 times y, 5 y. Right, children? So this is how you write in the word and symbol form. Okay. Okay, sixth one. Sum of x and quotient of y by 10. Well, sum of x and quotient of y by 10. Y by 10. So sum of x. So x is here. And we have to add, what we have to add to that? Sum of x. What we have to add? Quotient. Quotient means divided. Quotient means divided. Divided what? Y is divided by 10. Y by 10. Sum of x and quotient. Sum of x and quotient of y. Wait. Sum of x and quotient of y by 10. Yes, this is the correct thing. Okay. So, like this you can do the remaining also. Now we can move on to question number 2. I'll take up the even parts of that. Okay. Question number 2. It is also statement and symbols. So, I'll take up the even parts. Now, for this exercise, children, you complete, you do all the parts, because all the sub parts and questions, because it's a beginning and there is a, you can easily do these sums, right? So I'm taking second and fourth, sixth, eighth, right? Fourth, and you will try the remaining ones. So second one, twice x, twice, 2 times, twice x, decrease, minus, decrease by how much? Okay, twice x decreased by 9 gives represents equal to, gives 11. So this is the question, twice x, I am doing it here directly, decreased by 9 minus 9 gives 11 is equal to 11. This would be your answer. Fourth one, 1/3 of the sum, of means remember bracket, of the sum of x and 4 equals 10. These are little lengthier statements. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 of what? Not of x, of the sum of x and 4. Sum of x and 4. So 1/3 of sum of x and 4. So we have to put it in brackets, because both their sum we have to take 1/3. 1/3 of sum of x and 4 equals 10. Equals 10. Okay, sixth one. 9 times m is greater than 18. So 9 times m is greater than 18. So we put greater than symbol. Gives means equals and greater than 18. And eighth one, the quotient of a quotient means division. The quotient of a by 6, that means a by 6. This is the eighth one, children. This is the eighth one. This is the sixth one. This is the fourth one, and this is the second one. The quotient of a by 6 is less than 1. The quotient of a by 6 is less than 1. So we have to change to symbols. Maybe equal, where they say equals or gives, we write equal to sign. Equals or gives, both we write equal to sign. Greater than or less than symbol. Right, children? Not so difficult. So you will do the remaining also on your own. But don't leave any question of this. Now question number 3. Write each of the following in exponential form. Now what do we mean by exponential form, the power form? I'll just explain that first of all, then I'll write it. If it is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, how many times I multiplied 2? 4 times. So we write 2, and as many times it is there, we write as a power, raised to power. Well, this is called as power or exponent So when it is repeated multiplication of the same number, same value, same literal or same constant, then we can express it in the form of parts of that, say parts of that constant or variable, and we call that as exponential form. Okay, exponent means power. Okay, so now we have question number 3. First one. Now they are saying A taken 10 times. I am not copying the question. A is 10 times. So okay, like this. It is how many times? 10 times. So what would be the exponential form? A raised to power. We use the word A raised, R-A-I-S-E-D, raised to power 10. That is the exponential form. Right? Okay, I'll take fourth one. 3 into 5 into P into Q into R. So 3 and 5, okay, I write 15. Now P is multiplied. It should be same variable or same constant. 5 is 3 times. So I will not put multiplication sign. P raised to power 3. Next is Q. How many times? 2 times. Do not put multiplication sign now. Q raised to power 2, and finally R. We will not be putting the multiplication sign. It is just written one after the other without the sign in between. It represents multiplication. So it is in exponential form. Now the next question is just the reverse. See, it is just the reverse. We have to write in product form. Question number 4. I am copying first and third. It is in product form. This is product form. As we have done this is product form in exponential and power form. And here, this is in exponential form, and we have to write in product form. Now I have to write, this is there only. Third, 2P Q Q Q R Q. When it is power is 2, we say square, A square. See how we did it. If it is raised to power 2, we say square, A square, B square, 3 square. When it is raised to power 3, we say cube, B cube, 5 cube, cube. This is for cube. This is for square. And for remaining, we have to say raised to power, raised to power. So how we'll read this? 6 x square raised to power 2 should be said, not can, should be said x square. Don't say raised to power 2, it is not wrong, but you should say what? X square y cube. 6 x square y cube. How will you read this? 2 p cube. Cube, cube, r cube. In all the cases it is 3 power 3. How will you read this? Now there is no special term, a raised to power 10, right? Okay. So now in as product form it would be 6, which we can write as 2 into 3. Now raised to power 2, so it is x into. Now see how we write into and how we write x. It is different. X is simple cross and alphabet. This multiplication is simple cross and x is in cursive form. Then y cube means y is 3 times. This is in the product form. How it would be written? This one 2 p cube. So p into p 3 times. Q into q into q 3 times. R into r 3 times. It would be in the product form. So children, little bit different from your usual fractions, decimals, whole numbers. We are now dealing with certain alphabets. Let's revise quickly. Some terms, gradually you will be introduced to many new terms. You have done few terms today. The main term is variables and constants. So when we are using alphabets, x, y, z, usually x, y, z, a, b, c, d, but for that matter any alphabet can be used to represent numbers, then we call those as variables. And I have told you in my video that why they are called as variables. And the numerals are called as constants. So that branch of mathematics which uses variables and constants, then it is together known as what? It would be known as what? Algebra. Now in algebra we did some statements, we converted into symbols. Like decreased means to subtract, increased means to add, times means multiply, quotient means divide, right? So all that we did there today. Then how to write in exponential form. So what is exponent? The word exponent, that is the power here, is the exponent. We call it as power also, we call it as exponent also. So what is exponential form? When we write repeated multiplication of the same constant or variable can be written in the power form, which is called as exponential form. Then when we write in this form, it is called as product form. Then from the product form, it's exponential form, and in the exponential form we can also write in the product form. Then I also told you that how to write the alphabets in your notebooks. Whichever way it is written or printed in your book, irrespective of that, you will be writing X in this cursive form, Y and Z, A, B, C, D all in cursive form, wherever you are using alphabets in algebra. Because this is just the beginning, children. So do follow what I am telling you, because unnecessarily mistakes or errors would be there. So if it is in your habit, then you will not be confused whether it is multiplication or x, whether it is 2 or z, you will not have that difficulty. So to begin with, I have just taken little bit part of your algebra portion. We'll continue in our next video. Till there, complete this work and be ready for the next class. Take care. God bless you.